A thought given to thought. Your thoughts become things. Anonymous. This four-letter phrase is enough to highlight the immense strength that one holds in their mind. The power of your thought is divided between your conscious and subconscious regions. The physical strength that is derived from our actions and motions is nothing but the outcome of a mere thought. I say mere thought, but in no way I intend to take it for granted. But before we analyze the power of a thought, we need to understand what a thought actually is. Many psychologists have defined thoughts in many different ways, but in my opinion, a thought is simply a figment of imagination that is molded by our day-to-day experiences, but in no way is limited to such experiences. It's like a seed that is imprinted on the mind and gets cultivated over time. No inception puns intended. Now that we have a basic idea of what a thought is, it is time to divide it in its components. Just like I mentioned above, the power of a thought is divided in conscious and subconscious regions of the mind. The components and its mechanism of action also revolve around the same lines. Normally, a thought first germinates inside our conscious mind through our conscious experiences of the surroundings. Once it has a hold of our mind, it moves ahead to grab our attention. Attention leads us to offering a thought its due time for its consideration. This compels us to conduct an efforts to rewards analysis, and if the latter outweighs the former, we move towards the fulfillment of that thought. On the other hand, if a thought is not given enough attention at first, but it keeps getting a trigger from our surroundings, then it latches onto our subconscious and slowly creeps up to the front lines when the time is right. It's like the great author Stephen King once said that the boring ideas fade away with time, but the good ones stay with you. Whatever route a thought might end up taking, its ultimate outcome is its gratification in the real world. This is the power of a non-physical thought which leads to actions in the physical realm. Examples of some certain miracles in medical sciences also demonstrate the power of thoughts, where patients proved doctors wrong just by refusing to believe what the doctors had predicted for them. Although it is difficult to differentiate from placebo, but it also works on the foundation of the power of your mind. A mind is nothing but a muscle, and the thoughts are its dumbbells. So naturally, one should not overuse these dumbbells if they wish to stay away from mental fatigue and burnout. But can someone actually run away from their thoughts? The two most prominent techniques to run away from a particular thought are distraction and sleep. But both of these techniques are temporary in nature. Just like I mentioned above, a thought creeps up on you when you least expect it. You can't shun a thought permanently. Even if you sleep, the repressed thoughts often find a way to come up on top in the form of pleasant dreams or daunting nightmares. Also, while talking about shunning thoughts, we are talking about a specific thought or a memory only. No one can get rid of all the thoughts present in their minds. A thoughtless mind is as good as dead. Just like a galaxy, which is a cluster of trillions of stars and planets, our mind is a cluster of abstract thoughts and ideas which don't even make sense most of the times. Even a room with a single person screams with hundreds and thousands of thoughts that spark up and fade away in their mind in an instant. Thoughts are inside us and are all around us. They not only germinate from our experiences but also shape them and influence them to a great extent. Two differently thinking minds can have a drastically different experience of a same situation. That is why some people get offended by things which others find quite amusing. It's the potential of a thought that does not occupy a physical space but ultimately ends up influencing it. If we look closely, we will find that every action has a thought behind it. From explorers to thinkers to rulers and leaders, everyone is driven by a specific thought pattern. A thought holds the power to make or break the world. This is the power of a thought. It can be constructive as well as destructive, and it all begins from the spark of a single mind. Thank you for listening to the Speaking Mind podcast. Do check out the other episodes from the library. And if you're into reading, do check out the Speaking Mind podcast blog, where you can find the transcription of all the episodes completely free.